Welcome to this lecture on the discrete uniform distribution. Today, we are going to explore one of the most fundamental and intuitive concepts in all of probability theory. Whether you are rolling dice, shuffling a deck of cards, or writing a computer program that needs random numbers, you are relying on the principles we will cover today. Let us dive in and build your understanding from the ground up. Now that we know our topic, let us understand what a discrete uniform distribution actually is. Imagine you are standing in front of a gumball machine filled with 10 gumballs, each a completely different color. Because they are identical in size and weight, every single color has the exact same chance of dropping out when you turn the crank. The word discrete means our outcomes are separate and countable, like whole gumballs. The word uniform means the probability is spread perfectly flat across all those outcomes. A standard fair six-sided die is a perfect everyday example of this. Building on that intuition, let us look at the mathematical formula that describes this flat probability, known as the probability mass function. Conceptually, if every outcome is equally likely, the chance of any specific outcome happening is simply 1 divided by the total number of possibilities. In this formula, the capital X represents a random event, and the lowercase x is the specific outcome we are looking at. The variables A and B represent the minimum and maximum possible values. To find the total number of outcomes n, we subtract A from B and add 1, which ensures we do not accidentally exclude the starting number itself. If the range increases, the probability of each individual outcome decreases. Before we move on, let us see this with a concrete visual example. What you're looking at is the probability graph for a fair six-sided die. Notice the horizontal axis shows the 6 distinct, separate outcomes from 1 to 6. The vertical axis represents the probability of each outcome occurring. Because this is a uniform distribution, the height of every single bar is exactly the same, sitting at 1/6, or roughly 0.167. This perfectly flat top is the visual signature of a discrete uniform distribution. Now that we can visualize the probabilities, let us talk about the center of our data, known as the expected value or mean. The expected value is incredibly important because it tells us the long-term mathematical average we would get if we repeated our random experiment thousands of times. For any discrete random variable, you find this by multiplying every possible outcome by its probability and adding them all together. Because our probabilities are uniform and constant, this calculation simplifies beautifully, acting as a perfect balancing point for all our possible outcomes. This brings us to the elegant formula for the expected value of a discrete uniform distribution. Conceptually, because every number in our sequence is equally likely, the average will always sit right in the dead center of our range. In this formula, E of x stands for the expected value. The symbol A is our minimum value and B is our maximum value. You simply add the minimum and maximum together and divide by 2. Physically, if you shift the entire range of numbers up by increasing A and B, the expected value shifts up by the exact same amount. Knowing the center is great, but we also need to measure how spread out our data is, which is called the variance. Variance matters because it tells us how far the actual outcomes typically deviate from the expected value we just discussed. To find it generally, we look at the expected value of the squared outcomes minus the square of the expected value. For a uniform distribution, this spread depends entirely on how many total outcomes exist in our range. A wider range of possible numbers naturally creates a much larger variance. Let us look at the specific formula for this variance. Conceptually, this formula emerges after summing the squares of all consecutive integers in our range and simplifying the heavy algebra. In this equation, v of x represents the variance. The letter n is the total number of possible outcomes, which we find by subtracting the minimum from the maximum and adding 1. The number 12 is a mathematical constant that naturally appears from the algebra of summing squares. Notice that if the total number of outcomes n increases, the variance grows rapidly, meaning the data is much more scattered. Now that we have our formulas, let us apply them to a classic example, rolling a fair six-sided die. We are given a standard die and asked to find the probability of rolling a 4. We choose our discrete uniform formulas because the die has distinct integer outcomes that are all equally likely. First, we identify our minimum value A as 1 and our maximum value B as 6. We then calculate the total number of outcomes n by subtracting 1 from 6 and adding 1, confirming there are 6 total possibilities. Finally, the probability of rolling a 4 is simply 1 divided by 6. Continuing with our die roll, we now want to find the expected value and the variance. For the expected value, we add our minimum of 1 and maximum of 6, then divide by 2, giving us 3.5. This physically means that over millions of rolls, the average result will converge to 3.5, even though you cannot actually roll that specific number. For the variance, we take our total outcomes, 6, square it to get 36, subtract 1, and divide by 12. This gives a final variance of roughly 2.917, measuring the typical scatter of our rolls. Let us look at a slightly more complex example involving raffle tickets. A charity sells tickets numbered from 37 to 84, and we want to find the probability of ticket number 50 winning. We use the uniform distribution again because each ticket has an equal chance of being drawn. Our minimum value A is 37 and our maximum B is 84. To find the total number of tickets n, we subtract 37 from 84 and crucially add 1, giving us 48 total tickets. Therefore, the probability of ticket 50 winning is exactly 1 out of 48. Finishing our raffle example, let us calculate the expected winning ticket number and its variance. We find the expected value by adding 37 and 84, then dividing by 2, which gives 60.5. This is the exact mathematical center of our ticket drum. To find the variance, we take our total number of tickets, 48, square it to get 2304, subtract 1 and divide by 12. Our final variance is approximately 191.92. Because there are many more tickets than sides on a die, this variance is significantly larger. Now that we have successfully used the expected value formula, let us understand where it comes from by deriving it. This first chunk of the proof sets up the basic definition of an expected value. We start by writing the sum from our minimum value A to our maximum value B, multiplying each outcome x by its probability. Because this is a uniform distribution, the probability is always 1 divided by n for every single term. Since 1 over n is a constant, the rules of algebra allow us to pull it completely outside of the summation. This leaves us needing to find the sum of a simple sequence of consecutive integers. Continuing our derivation, we now solve that summation to find our final result. A famous mathematical rule states that the sum of consecutive integers equals the number of terms, n, multiplied by the average of the first and last terms, which is a plus b over 2. When we substitute this back into our equation, something beautiful happens. The n in the numerator and the n in the denominator cancel each other out perfectly. This mathematical cancellation is exactly why the final formula is so elegant and simple. We have rigorously proven that the expected value is just the average of the endpoints. So we have proven our mean, which brings us to a more advanced tool, the moment generating function, or MGF. You can think of the MGF as a mathematical DNA blueprint for a probability distribution. It matters because once you have it, you can easily generate the mean, variance, and other properties using basic calculus without having to do complex summations every time. For any discrete random variable, it is defined as the expected value of the exponential function e to the power of t times x.
Let us look at the mathematical form of this moment-generating function. Conceptually, this formula condenses a long series of exponential terms into one closed-form expression using the rules of geometric series. In this formula, m sub x of t represents the function itself. The letter e is the base of the natural logarithm. The variable t is a mathematical dummy variable that we use later for taking derivatives. The variables a and n represent our starting value and total outcomes, just as before. If you take the first derivative of this function and set t to 0, it will magically output the exact mean formula we derived earlier.
Now that we have seen the MGF formula, let us walk through the first part of its derivation. We are setting out to turn the expected value definition into a workable sum. We start by writing the sum of e to the power of t times x multiplied by a constant probability, 1 over n. Just like we did when proving the mean, we can pull that constant 1 over n outside the summation. What remains inside the sum is a series of exponential terms, starting from e to the power of t times a all the way up to e to the power of t times b. This sets us up perfectly for the next algebraic step. In this final chunk of the proof, we will condense that expanded series into a final result. If you look closely at the sum of exponentials, you will notice it is a finite geometric series because each term is multiplied by e to the power of t to get the next term. By applying the standard algebraic formula for the sum of a finite geometric series, we can collapse the entire long addition into a single neat fraction. This mathematical trick is what gives us our final closed-form moment-generating function. We have successfully built the DNA blueprint for the discrete uniform distribution. We have covered a lot of ground today, so let us review our key takeaways. First, the discrete uniform distribution is the simplest probability model, where a finite number of distinct outcomes all share the exact same chance of occurring. Second, the mean is always the exact mathematical center of your range, while the variance depends entirely on the total number of possible outcomes. Finally, this distribution is the foundational math behind fair lotteries, shuffling cards, and computer randomness. You now have a complete understanding of this essential statistical concept.